Greetings! You're watching Septum Sen versus the World. I'm Septum Sen, and I'm here with Kotobuki Jake.
Hi.
And of course, we're here to talk about our pickup videos, what we've been watching, what we're picking up to watch, and what we're going to do. So, first off, I'm wearing my Anime America tee.
Yeah.
I really love that site. I love the YouTube channel. Check them out. They don't know me. They don't care about me. They probably hate me. Well, they don't know me enough to hate me, but soon they'll hate me. But any case,
They will love you when you give them like two or three
all
new
two or
viewers.
three like people that might actually listen to this. But yeah, if you subscribe, if you go over there, and you subscribe like their channel, and you found out from me, of course, let them know that I sent you over there. But otherwise, in news, I actually found out a little bit of Dark Tower news. It looks like Stephen King is accepting that the movie is bad. Which is funny because all throughout this is great, this is excellent, this is great, and then, okay, you're right, it's bad.
I don't have facts to back this up.
Yes.
Indeed.
He finally
I
had to
don't.
admit he did not have the facts to back
I
that
don't
up.
have facts to back this up.
So what he's doing at this point is he's actually putting much of his thought and creativity into the TV series, which is where I think it should have been in the first place. Idris Elba is, of course, right on board saying, hey, let me play Roland again. I can do it. I can do it. I can kick its butt again. I don't know. I've not seen it. I do have the Steelbook pre-ordered from Best Buy. I don't know why. Yes, I do. I'm obsessed with the series.
Yeah, there you go.
But it sounds like this is going to be more of an adaptation of the books than the continuation that the movie was. I mean, Stephen King's thing is it wasn't violent enough. That's why it didn't do well. I'm
Really?
going to guess that is not the reason it didn't do well. But I am going to see it. And when I see it, I will say why I think it did not do well. Because I will find it. And maybe I will love it. And I will say, these people are stupid. But that's how it is. So what have you been up to watching this week?
Well, speaking of highly controversial adaptations, I had the opportunity this week to watch the new version of Ghost in the Shell.
Oh.
And have you seen that one yet?
No.
Okay, so this is a show that unfortunately, well, for those who are unfamiliar with Ghost in the Shell, you obviously are not anime fans. But any anime fan, it's a hugely influential series. I've always thought that the first movie was overrated. My apologies to Mamoru Ishii. I always thought the first movie, the second movie in particular, were a little bit overrated. I have not yet seen Second Gig, but I loved the first standalone complex. I thought it was a great series, lots of fun. I've seen the new movie that's based off the Arise series. This movie kind of takes elements from all of the above and cobbles them together and tries to put it in a shiny international package. They try really hard to make it seem international. And I'm sorry, as much as I love Scarlett Johansson, the whole thing smacks of they wanted Scarlett Johansson and built the movie to incorporate her. And they do. The movie makes her logical. It does not smack of this should be a Japanese character, but it should have been Rinko Kikuchi in the role. It should have been. And it's even more off-putting because Beat Takeshi is the major Japanese cast member, speaks almost every line in Japanese. Everyone else speaks almost every line in English, including the actress who apparently has only done Japanese cinema since Memoirs of a Geisha, and it was like her first time then. She's done like 3 American films. Okay, she does her lines in English. Everyone does their lines in English, except Beat Takeshi, who plays Aramaki. So everyone communicates with Aramaki just fine. He communicates with everyone else just fine. And there's nothing in the movie to say why this is so.
Yeah.
It's weird. Otherwise, it's a perfectly decent generic action flick. Everyone does their roles well. Yes. And it's not just Scarlett Johansson. Michael Pitt is in it. Pilo Asbeck. Julia Binoche. I mean, really? You could easily, and even this kind of was adding insult to injury. Other than Beat Takeshi, the primary member of Section 9, who's actually played by an Asian actor, Chin Han, who of course played the smarmy businessman in Dark Knight, plays the only non-enhanced human, Togusa.
Okay.
And I don't know if there probably are some people who read something weird into that.
Yeah.
And Togusa doesn't have a very big role either. But all that aside, I have said repeatedly before on my blog, and I think I've said on here, Hollywood really needs to wake up and see how awesome so many Asian actors, directors, filmmakers. Hollywood really needs to notice this. They could, because of the whitewashing controversy, the movie bombed at the box office. If they had starred Rinko Kikuchi, it probably would have made 5 or 10 million more.
10,000.
Oh,
5 and 10,000 more.
I guarantee you it would have made 5,000 more. I guarantee you that much. Okay, but anyway, other than that, my viewing this week, I finally watched The Zookeeper's Life, which was really good. And I did start off October, as promised, with the first 4-episode arc of When They Cry.
Oh,
it was
awesome.
fun. It was fun to revisit that series. I look forward to getting more of it done.
Oh,
Yep.
wow. I've actually been doing some very highbrow viewing, believe it or not. A lot of Criterion viewing. Been watching, let's see here. I watched Doskaden, which is an Akira Kurosawa film. Very good film, and I will have the review up, but you won't see it until November because this is October. It's scary movie month. So therefore, all of my movie reviews for this month are going to be for horror films. So when you don't have one of these things coming up, you're going to actually see a horror review. And the next set of reviews to come up starting tomorrow. Actually, wait, this is going to be Monday. So starting Wednesday, the next reviews that you're going to see coming up are the Camp Blood movies. There's 7 of those films, 6 that are acknowledged by the producer, and I do look forward to bringing those to you. It's a journey into, well, something. But I did watch Doskaden. I watched Che. I finally got to watch both of those. And again, I got the review up.
That's what, 5 hours for both of them?
Yeah, it is. No, not 5 hours. It's like 2 hours for both of them. But it's
Really?
a little over 2 hours of film. It's not that bad. And Che, the part 1 was awesome. It was. I mean, I gave it a 9 out of 10. I was actually, and for those who know my grading system, if you've been with me long enough, you've read my site, I typically give 7 out of 10. I like 7 out of 10. It's my way of saying I like this film, but I don't love this film. And this one, oh no, I love this film. I didn't think it was pretentious enough for a 10.
Yes. It
But,
was not by Federico Fellini.
Exactly.
His system, not mine.
Yeah, Fellini's the only one that can get perfect 10s here. But part two did disappoint, and that dragged the total rating down. But again, you'll get to see that also coming up probably in November. And then, of course, my Halloween viewing, which involved all of the Exorcist movies. From 1 all the way to the 2 movies that made up the beginning. So I watched the original and the director's cut of 1. Watched 2, 3, and then Exorcist the Beginning and Exorcist Dominion, which are the same movie, recut very differently. I don't know if you've ever familiarized yourself with a lot of these other than the first one. I know you've seen the first
one.
But the beginning, I tell you, those last ones, they are 2 different movies. Very similar plot lines, but they switch around characters. It really is. It really is a different feel. And then, of course, lastly, we started off the season with Vampire. Or Vampire. Or whatever. It's Vampyr. It's
Skip to the end, huh?
old 30s film. And very wonderful film. That review will come up in October, since it is a horror review. It's already been filmed. Did a lot of late night filming, but all of those are done in the can, and that's pretty much all I've got. But I guess we'll get started with this whole thing.
Sounds good.
So, you guys have probably seen me speak about this, and it was down to $14 on the Sentai DVD sale. So I couldn't help but get another Slice of Life series. Quan. Quan? Yeah, about a girl who joins a motorcycle club. Which sounds a lot like all of these others, like K-On! And all this stuff, where they find a club that they join and they find friendship and bonding and bondage and all that fun stuff. Maybe not bondage, but I mean, it looks like an interesting series so far here. Worth a look.
Yep, looks a lot of fun. We covered that one on one of our previews, and I definitely want to see it one of these days. I managed to avoid this Sentai sale.
Yeah, good for you.
I didn't want to, but I had to. That one, next time there's a big discount, because 15 to me was like, yeah. But there were some that really
cart topper for free shipping.
Yeah. But I'm not always good. And in fact, the other day, I got off work early and went by the bank. And for some reason, when I left the bank, Best Buy was calling. I don't know why. Best Buy doesn't usually just cry out to me like this, but it was this time. And so I got a couple things. And one of the things I got, which I guess may have been what was calling to me through the ether, I don't know. They had a very small selection for this sale, but they had a sale of recent titles where it was buy one, get one. And so they had a few items where the Blu-rays were $13. So buy one, get one, basically $6.50 a Blu-ray, which is really good for new titles. It's almost Black Friday price. So I picked up, there were 4 of them that I almost got, and I got away with just 2. But one of them was an absolute essential. And that was this one. And last year, I saw a lot of movies. And most of the movies that are in my top 10, I saw before the Oscars. But Your Name has been added to the list since then. And there have been a couple others. But this one actually was so good, it was in my top 10. And I've seen over 100 movies from last year. And this is a movie called The Edge of 17. It's Hallie Steinfeld and Woody Harrelson, Keira Sedgwick. First of all, Woody Harrelson's the man. I mean, he's awesome.
No,
he's
one of he was the other one.
No, I don't mean he's the no. Woody Harrelson is one of the best represented actors in my collection, and for a good reason. And this is not his most earth-shattering role, but it's one of the nicer guys he's played, and he does a really good job with it. And Hallie Steinfeld, who rose to prominence as the co-star, but actual star of that True Grit remake that we already mentioned, and got an Oscar nod at 14 when she did that. She has quietly built a reputation as a go-to good actress, and she's awesome in this. She's absolutely awesome. But this is basically one of those kind of, edgy teen sort of coming-of-age dramas. There's not really a whole lot I could describe it that would make it sound all that special. One of the reasons it took me so long to see it was I heard a lot about it, but it just didn't seem like it would be all that important. And then I saw it and I was like, this movie's awesome. So the opportunity to get this and another new release for $13 on Blu-ray, I was like,
oh yeah,
hails yeah. So, Edge 17, there you go.
Sometimes you just gotta go for it.
Yeah.
So, again, since we cover all of the media here, including CDs and all that stuff, you're not going to see a lot of music CDs for mine. I have to find, particular taste. Same thing with video games, though you'll see a few more of those on here. In this particular case, it's more because my computer sucks and can't run these very well. which is this Far Cry compilation, which has Far Cry 2, Far Cry 3, and this one Blood Dragon. And I've heard some fun things about this series. 5 is about to come out, about, you get to go kill rednecks or something like that, which, being from a redneck town myself, I don't know whether I'd take offense to that or not. But it was not as bad. The series, from what I've seen. I've beaten the 4th game, but considering that you can beat the 4th game by basically sitting at the beginning, and when the guy says, hold on, I've got something to deal with. Wait here. I will be back. So you're supposed to get up and, start fighting and doing all that stuff. And then that's when the game really starts up. Or you can wait for him to come back. Then he takes you, you accomplish your mission, and game over. Which, is what I did. So I beat that game. So we'll see how I like the other games. I've played the first one, which is a pretty decent shooter. I do look forward to trying those out.
Mm-hmm. Very good.
Yep.
All right. So, the next part of that sale. The movies that I put back, the one that was the weakest link, but I still want, was The Secret Life of Pets.
You are the weakest link. Goodbye.
Yeah. But the other two, it was a toss-up. And of course I ended up with a bit of buyer's remorse. I probably should have gone with Captain Fantastic. If you've ever seen that, there's one scene where the guy absolutely schools his sister and brother-in-law on the education system, and that is alone is worth the price of admission. And Viggo Mortensen, Oscar-nominated role. It's a good movie. But the one that I ended up going with instead is a movie that I had heavily anticipated because I'd read the book, and I loved the book. And the movie was a remarkably faithful adaptation of the book, and creepy and weird as hell. Because even though it was faithful, it's a story that works better as a book. And I'm talking, of course, about the adaptation of Paula Hawkins' Girl on the Train. And that's that one. Emily Blunt is the main character, the girl on the train.
Oh.
Yes, you didn't know that, did you?
She was a girl
Ferguson.
on the train.
Yes, Rebecca Ferguson, Justin Theroux, Luke Evans, Allison Janney, Lisa Kudrow. Some. Oh, I forgot Lisa Kudrow's in that.
Kudrow's in that.
Another very well represented person in my collection.
I have been very interested in seeing that, but it's.
This is a really good movie, but it is creepy, weird, and gets off to a very slow start. The book is better, but the movie is a very faithful adaptation of the book. So if you don't have time to read the book, or you just want to see the movie, it's a good way to go about it. And again, essentially $6.50 for the Blu-ray. Not a bad price. I am very happy to have this one. Very, very happy to get that. Like I said, Captain Fantastic might have been the better call out of those, but there's always Black Friday.
Well, Girl on the Train is a very well-known movie.
Mm-hmm.
And speaking of series that are well-known but are not as good as the book, I bring you Inferno, not L'Inferno, which was a better thing because it was a good Italian film back in 1910. This one here, however, is a Tom Hanks film, which is a third film in the so far 3-film Langdon series. I have not read the books these are based on, but my wife has, and she says they are excellent.
Really?
That's what she says. She loves all 3 of the books. And me, I've not read the books. Da Vinci Code was pretty well done. Angels and Demons bored me. And we'll see how this one holds up. Since I haven't read the book, I won't be as disappointed.
Well, the only one I've seen in the series is the Da Vinci Code, and it was good. I wasn't blown away by it. It was good. I flipped through the book. I've not actually read the books. I flipped through the first one, and I was not impressed. The writing style, I was not impressed. I might have to ask your wife about that and see why why she if she agrees with the writing or not. But actually, we have several movies here based on books that this is another one I need to read. And I think we've discussed this on this channel because of the current big movie that's out there right now. The one that I really want to go see that I have not gotten to go see. I have not yet ever seen or read any version of Stephen King's It. I know, it's sad. But the book is a behemoth. So I've been...
Just a little book, so I like that.
It's like 1,200 pages.
Yeah.
I handled a copy today that was like that thick.
Oh, you can read 100. You can read 1,200 pages.
Yeah, sure. But anyway, so I have not gotten to see it yet. But this being Halloween month, as you've already started, we've stated at the start of this one, I am prioritizing, just like he is, Halloween themed stuff. The other night, I saw this, and it called to me.
It called to you.
It called to me. This is the original It, the miniseries with Tim Curry and John Ritter and all those other folks. And, it's $5. You could do worse, I probably could have got it cheaper, but it's got that nice fancy box,
Let me see.
And then you open it up and that's the typical
Yeah.
It's, I'm very happy that I will finally get to watch this one and The Stand. I just don't know when yet. I'll get to them.
Let me see. So it's like this, Go to Bookie Jake. Hey, come here. I got some. I got the new steelbook of the new release of It down here. 4K quality with 4K TV. Come on.
No.
They all float down here.
Well, that's not going to help me want to get the TV. It's probably not working anymore.
Hey, well, you know that the real thing about 4K TVs, they all float.
Did you see that thing? Was it Nick that posted it, or did we see it? No, I saw it on my news feed. Did you see that thing? Like someone made like a anime version of Pennywise based off the new movie.
Oh yeah,
that looked pretty good actually.
Let's see where he's dancing in the new movie at the end. It's just creepy as all get out. It is worth seeing.
Yes.
Probably one of the better Stephen King adaptations to date, and that's saying a lot from a Stephen King fan.
Mm-hmm.
So, speaking of films that got adapted, Criterion had a sale a while back. And I finally got a hold of a copy. The DVDs were insanely cheap. I mean, really cheap. I got this for $10. And that is Insomnia. Now, Insomnia really put Robin Williams on the map again.
Is this that version?
But that is not the version that I have here.
You puzzled me.
Because the Robin Williams version was a remake of this version.
Yes.
Which is one of those in the trend of remaking films not long after they were released. This was released in 97.
Yeah, 5 years.
So, still, that's not very long.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not Girl with Dragon Tattoo quickness, but still.
But this is from that neck of the woods.
Yeah, and it really is a good suspenseful film. I've seen the original. You showed me the original, I believe.
Probably.
And it is very much worth seeing. Both films are worth seeing. The second film for Robin Williams' performance for anything, I really think that what is his name?
The main guy?
Yeah.
Al Pacino?
Al Pacino. I felt like Al Pacino's performance was not as good in that one. I felt like he was kind of just getting through. But this
that's
one,
kind of what the character was doing in a way.
This one particularly, though, really well done, really well acted. Looking forward to seeing this again.
This actually is the original Insomnia. I think it's Norwegian, isn't it?
It's something.
I think it's Norwegian. But it stars Stellan Skarsgård.
In Norwegian and Swedish.
Yeah. Skarsgård, of course, is one of the more famous Swedes out there and probably the most successful one in American movies. And who co-starred with Williams in Good Will Hunting. The same year this came out, actually. But Skarsgård plays the role that Pacino played in the remake of a big city cop who goes north to where the sun doesn't go down for long periods of time, which is why he becomes insomniac. And you mentioned Robin Williams several times. But in both cases, he's investigating a disappearance and murder, and the guy who does the murders is a writer who I liked the American version better for the portrayal of the murderer. Because Williams does a brilliant job. He does a brilliant job of portraying someone who's not only trying to convince the cop that he's innocent, you feel like he's trying to convince himself that he's innocent. And the other guy, the original guy, just came across as more smug and trying to hide things.
Fairly creepy, actually.
Oh, yeah, he does. They're both creepy.
Yeah, they are both creepy. But it really did kick off Robin Williams' stream of performances, like 1 Hour Photo.
Well, 1 Hour Photo and Death to Smoochie and Insomnia were all the same year. Yep. And I read one critic said that something like some actors have to go through penance. For Robin Williams, that means going dark.
Yeah, apparently.
I was like, and I really thought he got gypped that year because he should have gotten some awards love for that, and he was
showed
a great
lot
actor.
of range. I mean, that really that showed people that he had a lot of range to go. He didn't have to be the child-friendly Robin Williams that most people knew, which if you watched his stand-up, you knew that already, but not many people have.
Like, I rate 1 Hour Photo as one of the better psychological thrillers I've ever seen, and it's a creepy movie. But anyway, speaking of movies with very difficult characters,
one I've never
very
seen.
difficult. This is a very recent film, and I actually picked it up because it was in the $4 bin at Walmart, and I was tempted to go with Blu-ray, but $4. And it's not really a movie that is all that big on the visual effect. It's more the characters and everything. But this is a movie that stars Andrew Garfield, Michael Shannon, and Laura Dern. So you got a great cast. It's called 99 Homes. Of course, Shannon stars in the show I'm watching now, Boardwalk Empire.
Like Sherlock Holmes.
Yeah. And of course, Andrew Garfield had a 1-2 punch, big 1-2 punch with Silence and Hacksaw Ridge. But this came out a little earlier. I think it came out last year. I think it did. No, it's a couple years old, but it's still recent. But in this one, basically, it is a very dark look at the basically predatory lending and the people who profit off of that sort of setup. Basically, Michael Shannon plays a guy who goes around and takes people's homes away. And Andrew Garfield and Laura Dern is his mother in the movie. And his mother, Laura Dern, plays a complete wastrel who is an awful person. But she's just awful in terms of she has no sense of how to care for herself or anyone else. Yeah. And he plays her son who has a child himself. And he is so desperate to save their home that he goes to work for this guy. And it's a hard movie to watch. But it's really, if anyone, it came, I think I saw this not long after reading and watching The Big Short. So that definitely had, some thoughts in my mind about the hell is wrong with this country that stuff like this happens. But stuff like this happens. And I watched this movie and I got furious. I hated the Michael Shannon character. So if you want to see him play a total rat bastard and nail it, this is a good movie to see. And if you just, it's a good movie just in general. It's a fairly important film, I think, for what's going on right now. So, yeah that was worth $4.
It's actually got a very old school cover to it.
Yeah.
It kind of looks like how they used to make covers like with the 40s and stuff like that.
Right.
Where they kind of have those like stoic figures on the front.
I could see that.
So, I don't know why I keep thinking Grapes of Wrath when I look at it. Of course, then again, it has a very Grapes of Wrathian feel to it.
In a way, I could see Michael Shannon going up to the Jodes and saying, "Get." Yeah.
So, One that should have gotten on Blu-ray, but again, $10 versus $20.
Isn't that a Blu-ray case?
I believe this is actually... No, I did get the Blu-ray. Never mind. Okay, so I didn't go for that. It was Insomnia that I went for the DVD because it was 10 instead of 20. But this one is Inside Llewyn Davis.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you had this earlier as a pickup, and I also picked this up because of the Criterion sale. I looked at it and I realized, well, this is it. I'll be caught up to my Coen collection if I get this one. So I said, you know what, fine, I'll get it. And it puts me back up to even again until the next one comes out on DVD. What is their next one? Is it
their most recent one was Hail Caesar.
Okay, well, I've got that.
Okay.
What are they doing now? Something new?
I have to check. Suburbicon's coming out, but they wrote that. They didn't direct it. Yeah.
Well, I am very curious. Oh, I'm not very curious. I've seen this before. But it is very good. Music is good. Blu-ray is the way to go with this.
The cat is good.
The cat is very good. So I look forward to seeing this again. I will be seeing it. For those of you who are following my reviews, I'm starting my Criterion series where I'm going to be really diving into Criterion. It's going to hit much harder in November when I actually start really focusing on that when Halloween is over. And this probably is going to be one of the ones that I do review. So look forward to that until we hit December and I do Christmas reviews.
Now, are you going to make a point to go through a lot of the bonus features and stuff and try to...
I don't have time to go through them, but I do eventually. Once I've gotten through my plan is once I've gotten through everything that I have not watched. So once I've gotten
40
through,
years from now?
Yeah, once I got through everything I haven't watched in my collection,
When you
then I
retire?
restart at A,
Mm-hmm.
or actually number or ampersand, and I plan on watching all the special features except for the commentaries, unless it's a really significant commentary, and then probably move from there again.
Okay.
So, start over again.
Yeah. Well, speaking of stuff that's all about special features and stuff, previously on this channel, he has covered a documentary that I promptly went to the library and checked out and watched myself, and that was Planet Earth 2.
Oh.
And the other day, while I was at Best Buy, the other day while I was at Best Buy, I saw something that did not appear to be on sale, but it did have what I thought was a really good price, and I was willing to jump on it. And once again, this is my drive to have a better documentary collection. And having enjoyed Planet Earth 2, I very much would like to watch Planet Earth.
Awesome series.
So I got it. Planet Earth.
Oh, I
the
like that
6-disc special edition that claims to have 7 hours of extras. So my hope is that this will have lots of very, very cool bonus stuff on it. But I mean, that's a nice little package for that.
Beautiful documentary. It's probably one of the... Well, it was the reason I got a Blu-ray player.
Yeah. But yeah, definitely, this is the kind of thing that Blu-ray is awesome. Well, Blu-ray is awesome for a lot of things. But this is really what it's most awesome for, I think, is the nature documentaries. And I am very happy to finally have that. I still need to get the second one. But it's a start. Maybe on Black Friday I'll get a good price on the second one.
It's a start.
Cool. It is a start, yes.
Well,
right.
I hope you all have enjoyed our Blu-ray pickups and DVD pickups and video game pickups for the week. And we will be back again next week. Mm-hmm. We are hoping to expand our horizons a little bit more, work on our channel. We've gotten a couple more subscribers since we actually last came up. And I look forward to keeping on building that base. You guys are our core audience. We appreciate you as much as we can. Kudos to you. Mm-hmm. And kudos to everybody who sits through these particular things. So, with that being said, I guess we can continue with our likes, our subscribes, and of course our shares. So, of course, comment if you have any questions or anything that you'd like us to. You have any questions about our pickups? Anything that's like, ooh, you need to see this. Open this up. Watch this right away. Like maybe there was something I don't know. Maybe there was something about Quan that you said this is one of the best anime of all time.
Mm-hmm.
You need to get in on that. Watch that thing. Do it now before you lose it. You know, or something like that. Or maybe it's like maybe there's like this thing like It. You've got to see It. Well, actually,
I will be.
He has to see it. Really, I
do.
think that's so. So, any case, we will see you next time, and so long.